So what's your name? Yullbrenna.
Ah, fresh meat!
Alright, hey everybody, Yullbrenna here with another Ability Arena gameplay video, and this time we're going to be playing Brewmaster. Brewmaster is one of those gods that's not picked a lot, and for good reason. I don't think it is one of the top tier gods in the game, and could really use a buff. And I'll talk about maybe what I would do, but let's talk about what Brewmaster does, and specifically how I'm going to play Brewmaster today. So for this, I'm going to be using the Fire Panda, so the Fire Panda burns nearby enemy units with permanent immolation, and that scales by shop level, and then of course it has a status resistance of 30% and phased movement, so you know, that should help a little bit since you're going to be putting this Fire Panda on the front line. To start, I kind of just picked up some generic spells. I'm also going to highlight, really the main point of this is highlighting one of the key spells that I'm going to use is Reality Rift, and Reality Rift I think is a spell that's valued by top players and maybe not picked a lot by the general players in this game. So I'll kind of focus why it's such a good spell and why you should be picking it up more often in your games. To start, I've kind of picked up some generic spells here. Nothing's really popped. I wanted to pick up Bloodlust as well since I'm going to be using a Fervor build. And here I accidentally forgot to switch the Earth Panda onto Axe, but that's okay. Just the early game. And almost won there. So again, I've got Fervor, and I'm going to be using Bloodlust to take advantage of that. One of the other things I wanted to highlight, check out this past video, and I'll go into another one of the stances that I use, so you can take a look at that for a different style of a Brewmaster game as well. So you can see not a great start to the game at the moment. Brewmaster does scale with shop level. Personally for me, I think one of the changes if you wanted to upgrade Brewmaster is to upgrade by spell points. And you know, similar to like Legion Commander, where the more spell points you get, the more damage and the more increases that you'll get. So for instance, Immolation, I think, you know, it's going to scale by shop level, so I'm obviously going to want to get max shop with it, but it kind of can fall off in the late game as well. At least the buff, so that would be one of the ways I would make it more valuable, is to scale by shop level. So I see Legion Commander, I still haven't gotten the proper build into play. I'll throw in some frontline with Spike Carapace. Spike Carapace is always one of those spells that you should pick up. You know, I've said it before, it's one of the top 5 best spells in the game, so of course I'm going to pick that up. And you can see I'm highlighting a few of the spells, and those are going to be the spells that I eventually use with Reality Rift. So still lacking a little bit here, so I'm going to go ahead and upgrade shop again, get ultimates into play. I definitely need that if I want to keep competing. I want to keep getting my shop level up to make my unit stronger, and I'll go ahead and switch to the Earth Panda for the time being, throw it on the Legion Commander, get some extra stuns, get some extra damage, since I'm not really using the strength of the Fire Panda right now. Managed to pull out the win there after losing a little bit. You know, I could stack Fervor with Essence Shift, so there's potential I pick that up there. Bloodlust kind of going to keep at level 3. I rarely go past that. I think it's a value spell. And then of course Overcharge. So Overcharge is maybe something that I'm going to combine with my Fire Panda build once I eventually get that into play. And with Reality Rift, I'm kind of going to go a summons route and pull in a unit with Reality Rift and then swarm him with summons and tag team. Still struggling a little bit on the damage department, and with the build I'm also going to go a little bit of an Omni Slash build. This is going to be similar to the one I did in a previous video using Sticky Napalm with Omni Slash, but I'm going to add in the Fire Panda and seeing if that makes a nice combination and can add even more damage into that. Again, the main focus of this will be showing also why Reality Rift is such a good spell. You know, I talked about that. The repositioning is obviously one of the key points, and then of course the low cooldown. So it's on a 4-second cooldown. You're gonna at Gaben, you're gonna be pulling units directly to you and stunning them, so you can kind of just one-shot an opponent. It gets off the spell so fast. As you can see right there, you just immediately delete opponents with Reality Rift, and especially when I pull them next to the Muerta. So really good spell. Get it at least to level 3. You can get it to level 6, get it to Gaben. I think it's very valuable in the repositioning aspect, especially if you don't have a lot of backline, which right now I don't have a lot of backline damage. So not really sure how I should play the Legion Commander build. Kind of still figuring out my frontline, Spike Carapace, maybe some healing, potentially borrow time, but really haven't gotten the Brewmaster into play. And unfortunately fall on that one. Crowded bench a little bit, but I'll pick up Shadow Demon. Shadow Demon really is going to buff up one of my units and then come in at the end, hit with laser for a good counter to any physical builds, and then I'll check out an ultimate a little bit later. Still struggling a little bit here. I think hopefully things come together once I get my last unit into play, which will be the main unit. So, you know, a little unfortunate there. And I did want to use Shadow Dance. I just had to sell a spell last time to pick it up. I've got all the 4 spells that I think I'm going to use for my Fire Panda build, so I'm kind of keeping those on the bench. It's ready to roll, and that should be beneficial once I have my 4th unit in play, that I immediately have a build that can contribute. So Shadow Dance helped a lot there because my Muerta kept getting targeted. Hopefully can survive this with the added attack speed and feast, but just lose out. And here comes my last unit. I was hoping for something like a Terrorblade to put on there, so I'll move some spells around. For Reality Rift, Primal will work out really well, and then I find a great S tier unit, and eventually after some shuffling around and some rerolling, I find a Terrorblade that I'm going to use, get it on him, and buy some spells and be ready for the round. Find some spells I want, and so I'll go ahead and lock that shop. You can see right off the bat, Terrorblade already contributing a lot of damage here. As we know, that build works well, and last time when I was using that build, I really had to get Sticky Napalm to level 6 for it to take off, but because of the Immolation on the Fire Panda, I'm already starting to see the damage from Sticky Napalm plus the Immolation, so the damage already stacks up. just from having Fire Panda. So you can see on Terrorblade, I really am just looking for attack speed and of course the Sticky Napalm. So I mean, since I've gotten the Fire Panda to play, you can see it's been working out really well. I've got Reality Rift to level 6 as well, so I'm getting in there, I'm doing a lot of damage. You can see Primal Beast at the top, and I'm also getting into their backline as well. So it's been working out pretty well so far. The Terrorblade just gets in there, tanks some damage, and causes some havoc, while Terrorblade and Muerta do the cleanup. So kill the backline. He has Shadow Dance, so that should take care of my units, but my backline holds up and Muerta cleans up. So originally when I'm doing the Reality Rift, I like to use summons to do it, especially with tag team. So that's why I'm grabbing the familiars and some more summons. You can do it with kind of the Flesh Golem and like a double-edged style build. That'll work really well, and I've done that in the past. But you see a lot of top players, they also use it with familiar. So I've got that in there, and I'm going to go ahead and play that. Still on a winning streak, so good signs. That guy was grouped up, so a lot of damage from the Immolation and the Sticky Napalm. I grab Battle Fury, always something I like to do with an Omni/Slash build. I don't have much more magic damage aside from Kunkka, so I'll go ahead and throw that on him. And then going max shop, so since the Fire Panda scales by shop level, I'll definitely want to get that. So Brewmaster, you most likely want to max out shop. So not a lot of people go in Fervor, so I will try to go for that, which means I don't need to go for a Little Shredder because I'm just trying to gain stacks. So Terrorblade does a lot of good damage, and now we need more tech to clean up here. And she manages to do that, so still on a winning streak, went from the bottom, and now in second place. And focusing on those key spells, so Sticky Napalm, obviously, if I can get that to level 6, the Omni/Slash build will be fully online. Fiery Souls I'll really keep at level 3. And since I have 2 attack speed units, I will be grabbing Inner Beast. Not to mention I have the summons build as well. Shadow Dance works out really well there. Terrorblade's still topping the damage charts. The build is doing really well. And I highlighted Doom, potentially something I could use, or Black Hall. Haven't really decided yet here. So I do want Inner Beast into play, so I'll just take out that. Kunkka's already doing a pretty good job tanking units, and then of course I have the Black Hole coming in late for some additional crowd control. still going strong here. Need to focus on my key spells. I'll leave Black Hole at level 1. Facing the top build here, so let's see how this goes. So like I had a lot of illusions, so Terrorblade really thrives in that with Sticky Napalm and the Immolation. Worked out really well, and of course the Battle Fury as well, so feels like I counter that top build pretty well. So that is a good sign here. We're at the top 4. Looking for Sticky Napalm, I'm really the only one going for it, so it's frustrating when you're going for a spell and it's not always popping, but luckily the Immolation works without it. So I get Reality Rift Gaben, which is a big one because now it'll pull the unit directly to Primal Beast, and then I'll have Muerta right next to him. So they'll get pulled in, they'll get stunned, they'll get swarmed by Tag Team and all the summons, and then they'll get hit by Muerta. So I should just be like every 4 seconds one-shotting one of the units. So it kind of takes care of one of the units. They essentially don't have any time to react because Reality Rift is one of those spells that gets off immediately. So let's see how it works. So yeah, the OD completely blown up. He has that magnetic field, but again, my damage isn't too affected by that. I don't mind it at all because the Terrorblade's going to get in there and do damage anyways. So yeah, still going strong. I'm going to keep kind of my build how it's going. Again, not really going for Little Shredder because I'm going for Fervor Gaben. There it goes again, one of his units getting completely pulled in. The delayed Black Hole. Laser stepping up too. I'm getting, 2 to 3 lasers off each round, so anybody else that has a physical carry that doesn't have spell immunity is going to get kind of nullified by that eventually. So a good value spell to pick up. You can get to level 3. If someone has spell immunity, you can go for it for Gaben, so it pierces that spell immunity. I don't see the need for it right now, and I'm targeting other stuff. Killing that OD again immediately. My Terrorblade has a lot of good damage incoming, and I managed to take him down. So almost there on Sticky Napalm. And the spells that pop up, really all of them are good, but I don't really have much of an attack modifier besides Feast for the Muerta, so I think Mjolnir is the way to go. There are illusions as well, so might as well grab that. And I find a few good spells here. I do value the spell immunity of Sidekick, so I'm going to go ahead and put that on. Now I'll have spell immunity on the Shadow Demon and the Terrorblade to start. So it should prevent if he has any stuns or anything like that. Again, I'm kind of on a winning streak, so I'm not making too many adjustments here. Just getting the Sidekick off first so I make sure that I have that spell immunity to start. Terrorblade doing solid damage again. You can see the build is working. Even though, like I said, I think maybe it tails off, but I think this is a good sign of the build working and a good use of Fire Panda. And I also get Sticky Napalm to super, so now it's going to be hitting on attack, so he should be doing even more damage with the Immolation ticks. Let's see if we can close this out right here with the Gaben Fervor and the Sticky Napalm super. Again, this unit immediately gets deleted there. I'm going to get off another Reality Rift, and there goes Night Stalker. And yeah, you can see Reality Rift coming in huge, and Terrorblade's build, March's build doing really well. Finish that off. Hope you enjoyed the video. I think this showed off one of the good builds that you can use for playing Brewmaster, even though I don't think he's the best god. But I hope you enjoyed it, and yeah, see you in the next video. Take it easy.